Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the 15th of December, 2020. Just going to have a run through the daily candlesticks, see if there's anything to look out for whilst trading the hour one breakout system. You can check out yesterday's review video is up now on our YouTube channel. Let me just get my magic pen. Let's start with the euro, right? As you can see, this 121.75 area is becoming really big resistance for this pair. We tested it again yesterday and also closed below 121.55. So this area is really becoming something for the euro. The moving averages are catching up. The slow moving average still got a little bit of a way. As you can see, it's around about here. Fast moving average we tested last week and rallied again, but we're still consolidating after this breakout from 120 between 121.75 and 120.50, somewhere around that point. If we fail to push higher, then I expect that we come back down to test this 120 area or this trend line. Above 121.75 is 122.15. This is also a resistance back in April 2018. I've been talking about it on these videos regularly, so I'm not going to go back to the weekly chart again. Maybe we'll have a look at the hourly chart, because you could really see this range now. This is 121.75, been tested a few times again yesterday, big sell-off, but we recovered going into the latter part of the US session, and overnight we kind of sold off a little bit. So EU, very sideways at the moment, lots of consolidation, pretty tricky to trade when it's like this. We had a breakout of this candle here that already went on at 7 a.m. So no trade for us on the euro so far. So that's fine with me. Let's move on to cable. I'll just go back to the daily. Pound against the dollar. As you can see, December I've marked up in this this rectangle here. So far, December has been really big range, really choppy price action. As you can see, these wicks here, lots of Brexit comments, and we kind of currently sitting on this this decade-long trend line, which we keep closing above and below. So I'm going to keep that on just for it seems to be pivotal at the moment, and I think a close above that on the monthly. So where we close in December is going to be important. If we close above or below it, then I think we'll be trading either side of that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then let's just have a quick look. This is the trend line that I was talking about. You can see it started back in 2008, had that touch in 2014, and again this year. Euro had the similar kind of trend line, which we've broken and closed above, and now we're pushing higher. GU, it looks like we are bottoming off here, and again a bit congested. So I think a close above this 135 handle, this psychological level on the pound, and we could see an extension and finally recover some of those losses that we've had over the last 10 years. But this is monthly stuff, not really what we trade. This is the hourly. Hourly, we can see this huge 130 pip gap open over the weekend, which we didn't close yesterday. We recovered. We stepped inside that gap around about 50% before shooting higher. If we couldn't close the gap, then it looks like the bulls were in control. Towards the end of the US session, we sold back off. So I expect we might have another try to close this gap this morning. Let's see what happens with cable. But as you can see, a really nice gap close, and these things usually, if there's a target there, it's a big target for the bears to close. I'm not sure how many bulls will be trying to defend that level, but it's extremely choppy times for cable. UY, we had a brief test of this 103.65. Yeah, 103.65. We had a brief test and penetrated that level before we shot up higher. So this is a false breakout on this big support level, 103.65. So usually this means that we will see a test of the other side of the range, which is this double top here, 104.75 area. And perhaps this might be enough momentum to push through this trend line and a close above this 105 area. And I think we start to push higher, finally break in one of these either side of this kind of trend channel that we've been stuck inside for the best part of this year. Although we've been seeing these lower highs for the duration of the year. Let's see what happens around this level. Should we get up there? If today's bar isn't very big and we stay below this 120, 104.25, then I expect we kind of reverse and try again at the lows. Sorry, I'm in an RN. Not very good today. Still a bit early for me. GY similar to GU, extremely choppy. Of course, we've seen some big dollar weakness, and this means for these yen pairs, these cross pairs will be pulled in either direction, and it seems that we've seen this in GY. We were stuck inside this lovely ascending triangle, which we broke out of, but even once we close below it, it's extremely choppy to trade. So really difficult on GJ, but again, I have a trade in overnight. On a break of this area here, and I'm looking to close at big round number 138 to see if we can try and claim back some of this big gap open on Sunday. So I've kept this on overnight. It's not something I usually do, but I think we're going to see another test of this big gap in the pound today, and hopefully close it. EJ, since breaking out of this 125, we have been consolidating sideways at these highs here back in August and September, around about 127. So a decent breaker from 125. If we close below this support area of 126.80, 126.75, 125.80 or 125.75, then I expect that we test this breakout area of 125. But yeah, since that breakout a couple of weeks back, we've just been going sideways, and perhaps we do that for the rest of the year. Who knows? But while we're still stuck inside this range, it's going to be tough to trade. If you look at the hour, you'll see what I mean. Difficult to find a direction on the 1 hour charts. So I've been getting chewed up. Last week on EY wasn't very good for us. But when the market's kind of like this, consolidating sideways, it's tough to find a trend. Obviously, we have to wait for the higher low of this range to be broken out before we might get the trade that we're looking for. So really difficult markets at the moment. AU has been okay. We were flat on the day yesterday, had one loss and one win. But since breaking out of this range, we've had an extension of this uptrend that we've been in all year. Let's see if this 74.50 area, 74.50 will become support, since it provided resistance last week. You can see we failed to break higher yesterday, and now we're kind of selling off overnight, and perhaps this afternoon this morning and afternoon we might get some consolidation, or maybe a sell off to test the 74.50 area. UC's been selling off. I've talked about this 129.50, how important it was, and a clear breakthrough there. So let's talk about this hourly. This hourly, I've had this trend channel put in since a couple of weeks back. We could probably delete that and replace it with this trend line. Excuse me, that is completely wrong. It's this one. Yeah, so UC kind of finding some support around this 127 handle. We had a big push up yesterday, but couldn't break this trend line. In fact, we touched it and retraced a little bit from that, but we put in two lows overnight. So perhaps a close above this 127.80 or maybe 128. We might see a test of this 129.50, this breakout area, which once the thing got going, it didn't really look back. So putting in a kind of bottom here, maybe we consolidate for the rest of the year sideways, because there was a pretty big move in the CAD. But this has been one of our better pairs to trade, particularly in the morning. Funny enough, UC is never really that great in the morning for the European session, but we seem to be having some nice breakouts come in the morning, and then some retracements in the afternoon session. So UC has been really, really good for us. EA on the daily is testing this support area. As you can see, this kind of range, which was previous support, then turned resistance a number of times until breaking out back here in October. And then the breakout failed, and we reverted inside this range. And now after that failed breakout, the bears finally managed to test the lows, which we found some support. So interesting area, this 160. Let's see what happens around here. A break below this 160.50 area and a close below on the daily might see this downwards trend continue. So EA shaping up pretty nicely. On the hour, we had this lovely break last week of this kind of trend channel. It went in the morning a little bit early for us, but since then there's no looking back. We've kind of bottomed out here around 160. So let's see what happens here. We've retraced some of this downwards move, but we found the bears have stepped in around this previous support area, 160, 180. So let's see if we can continue to sell off further and test these lows that we put in towards the end of last week, 160.50. Just going to talk about gold. I've talked about it enough on the daily. I just want to switch to the hour because it seems to be put in this interesting head and shoulders that I've seen a few people on Twitter talk about. Yesterday we got below it, but it's a failed breakout. I managed to avoid this one because you can see these wicks here. There's some big support around this 1825 kind of level, and it looks like this Head and Shoulders might be a failed one, and if we close above this 1850, then I think we continue this push higher. So yeah, it looks to be some momentum to this move overnight that happened in the Asian session. Let's see if Europe can continue the push higher and into the US. But I think this could be a good level to buy gold. FTSE, I seen it came up on the Beeb earlier that UK had a record number of redundancies this month, so not looking good. But equities can kind of fobbing that off and pushing higher. Although this was lovely to trade for the FTSE, but this kind of sideways action is a bit choppy and not for us. And managed to avoid some of the signals. On the daily, though, this high back here, which provided the resistance around about 6,500, is now becoming the support. So let's see if this level can hold going into as we start the early part of this week, going into December and towards Christmas. Perhaps this is going to provide the support until the end of the year, but let's see what happens anyway. Good luck with your trading session. It's 8:30 now, so half hour until the next candle close. But good luck.